What's up? What's good? Matt Clark here at the new Matt Clark. How are each and every one of you doing on this amazing Saturday? I'm doing great. My girl's doing great. My family's doing great. I hope each and every one of you are doing great, and I hope you're having a great week. If you could please hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that bell notification button to get all my videos when they're new. If you could share with somebody on social media, help spread the message, help spread the word, that'd be amazing. And there's a PayPal option if you'd like to donate, help support the channel. The link is in the description of most of my videos. So what's up? What's up? What's up? How are you guys doing? I know I said my girlfriend's great, my family's great, my life is great. That's the intro. To be honest, man, I'm lost a little bit at the moment. I have so much going on in my life, but yet at the same time, I work so much, so I haven't really had time to process it. But one thing I know for sure is where I'm at in my recovery, because typically in the past, this would have been a run point, which to me means this would have been a point in my life where I would have had enough and decided that it's not worth it. I'm just going to start using again and throw away everything that I've worked for. But the true thing is, I don't feel that way at all. I don't feel like I need to use. I don't feel triggered to use, despite the fact that I'm going through so much in my personal life. So, I hope each and every one of you are staying strong and keeping a positive mindset, because that's really the only way. You know, there's days in your life where you're going to feel like it's not worth it, right? Like you're working to live, or life just isn't fair. And the reality is, life really isn't fair. And sometimes you just got to grit your teeth and bear it. And sometimes you got to just deal with what life hands you. And it can be tough. And that's a fact. You know what I mean? And I just been going through some stuff. So that's why you haven't seen so much of me recently. I feel like they're not showing much of my last video either. I feel like it's kind of been shadowed, because typically my videos will get way more views than it's gotten in the amount of time that it's gotten, despite the fact that it has way more thumbs up and way more discussion amongst my community. So, but enough about me and my life. What is the topic of conversation? What do you guys want to talk about while I'm here, since I'm not here for too long? And yeah, like I'm all ears, you know. I need to get my mind off of this shit that's happening in my life. I figure coming on here and talking to you guys would be a good way to kind of get that off of my chest and move forward. I don't see anybody talking. Is it working? Do you guys see me? Okay, there we go. Hey, I found you recently out of curiosity about the Canadian prison system. Super interesting content. First-hand stories, info are always great to listen to. Thanks, Witch House. I appreciate that. What's good, Matt? Nice to see you back on live. James, yes, you know, my brother. I'll always be doing this a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So despite what's going on in my life, because there's some days and sometimes where stuff just kind of adds up. You're really busy and you just don't really feel like you have time. But then at the end of the day, you also realize that this is important for you, and you need to do this. That's how this is for me. This is like therapy for me. You know, I don't have a lot of people in my life that I can talk to or communicate with when I'm down or stressed out or got some shit on my chest that I need to get off, you know. I'm past the point of having a bunch of random friends in my life, people that are just around me, just to be around me. And I'm just kind of a loner. It's just who I am. I spent so much of my life partying and doing all that stuff that I just don't feel interested in doing it. Like I go out somewhere 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, I'm ready to go home. So, you know, it is what it is. Old John Crow, man, what's up? Hugh, what's up? James and Witch House, what's up? So, but there's a lot going on right now. You know what I mean? There's always a lot going on in the world. You know what I mean? So there's got to be some kind of a topic of conversation that we can talk about. No? Is it working? Normally people don't hesitate to speak, so I'm not even sure if this is working right now. Am I sitting here talking to a broken screen? For some reason, sometimes the internet drops on this computer. Yeah, Terry, I'm a UFC fan, so I definitely know the Cain Velasquez story. I haven't really looked deep into it. Maybe I should. Maybe I could do a video on that. I'm not great at editing, so I won't be able to have this dynamic documentary, but I can give my opinion, that's for sure. Oh, yeah, no, I wasn't expecting a lot of people on the live, and that's okay. I just want the people on the live to communicate. That's all. I understand that people, it's Labor Day weekend, it's the last one. It's the last one. But I don't really get to enjoy my summer too much because I work so much, right? And I typically work Saturdays if I can as well. And with my job, the only time of year that you can do Saturdays is in summertime. Tonka, what are you doing? My cat's a maniac. He's just destructive. Like, he's a good cat. He's not vicious. When he wants to play with you, yes, he'll swat at your legs a little bit. He doesn't draw blood or anything like that. But he's just destructive. He likes to push things off tables, like glasses that have water in them or anything like that. He likes to do that kind of stuff when nobody's looking. Now, he knows that I have rules and expectations, and he typically follows them when I'm here. But when we leave, he does cat things. So, yeah, but the Cain Velasquez thing is crazy because you see so many cases in the States that people get off on self-defense or like a crime of passion with way less of a pre-incident situation, giving your child to somebody in trust and in care, and then those people allowing somebody to take advantage of it. I don't blame them, man. If I had kids and I found out somebody was doing that to my kid, what are you going to do? You're going to run up on them, especially in a place where guns are easily accessible. Why wouldn't you? How about monkeypox? Did it reach the jail system? I have no idea, old John Crow. I haven't paid attention at all. Just because, like, I'm a positive person. Like, I like to think positively. I like to have a healthy mindset day to day. So I try not to fill my head with negativity or violence or anything like that. I love drill music and rap music, gangster rap music. So I absorb violence in that way sometimes, and on TV sometimes. But I definitely try to just keep a positive mindset. I'm enjoying this last long weekend here at home. My old lady's working, and that sucks because I definitely love to spend the time with her. But I love the fact that I'm able to just relax. I don't have to commit to anything, and I can just chill out. Not very often do I get to do that. Being in a relationship, typically, if you have spare time together, because we both work a lot of hours, then we typically plan those days up, and not a lot of rest happens. So it's nice. I just chill, smoke some trees, maybe have a pint or two. I'm going to go see my fam tonight. I got some Sour Diesel. I got some Hulk Smash. I got some Grease Monkey. I have some other stuff, and I have some old outdoor too. I don't really smoke it, but I got it. I hold on to the outdoor because sometimes my guys, they don't have money, you know. Every now and then somebody's hurting, money might not be there. I'll just throw them a bag of that outdoor and just tide them over with that. I typically would rather smoke in indica, personally. But some sativas I find nice. I like being head high, right? I like it when my eyes get red and heavy and I get the munchies. That's what I like, where I feel dumb, So I find sometimes sativas actually gives me that high, but a lot of the time when I smoke sativas, I don't get any of it. So I'm just a weed connoisseur, and it has helped me get through my recovery and deal with the cravings of not wanting to use. As an addict, I have a mindset, like I have this constant craving in the back of my mind. It is what it is. It's been there since I was like 17 or 18 years old. And I feel like smoking weed for me is harm reduction because it satisfies that craving. Now, I know a lot of people, especially people who deal with mental health, cannot deal or smoke weed a lot or ever. My old lady, my wife, she has mental health issues and definitely has a hard time smoking weed. So it's not for everybody, but if you can just take a couple puffs and chill, it's a great way to kind of ease off of everything else, in my opinion. Don't cap. I was in Millhaven and Reception twice. Two 2005 and 2011. I was there. Millhaven was a crazy place, man. I remember the first time I went to Reception, there was a ton of fights, a ton of violence. I remember seeing this kid get smashed by the phones where he ends up just sitting there knocked out against the wall. I remember seeing a crazy one-on-one brawl right in the middle of the gym. Just a dope fight. Like the day I got there, these two native guys just going at it. Pretty sure they were both native. Maybe one was white. But usually in prison, you either see like a beating, a jumping, a stabbing, or like a really one-sided fight. It's rare that you see two guys just whap, 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 and just both of them have a chin. Both of them know how to throw shots. It's rare that you see that because most real tough guys don't fight a lot. They don't. The guys that fight a lot are the guys that have self-esteem and pride issues, or guys that are coming up. They're young and they're trying to build up their reputation. What advice would you give a new CO in Toronto? Treat people like human beings. Understand that your job is not to punish. Your job is simply to make sure those inmates don't escape. That is your job. The punishment is being there in the first place. The punishment is not your own brand of corporal punishment. And that's where a lot of COs get it wrong. They don't see the inmates as people. So they feel no way about disrespecting them, talking down to them, being condescending. And then they're surprised when they get smashed in their face or they get shit and piss thrown in their face. It surprises them. And then there's some COs that just they love it. They love fucking with people. You know, that's like Margaret from Fembrook, or what's her name? Joyceville, second floor, AB side. If I remember her name, but Haley, Joyceville. There's just certain COs that are just RoboCop back in the day, the West. They're just on one all the time for no reason. They don't see you as a person. They don't see you as a human being. They see you as a number. And the reason why they see you as a number is so they can justify mistreating you. And it's deep burned into the system. People think it's racism, and there definitely is racism. But it don't matter if you're black or white. You both get disrespected. It doesn't matter if you're white or Native American or Asian. You all get disrespected. The only inmates that don't get disrespected are the inmates that build up their status and reputation as a solid con. And once you've been in for a while, they're not going to mess with you. They're not. This USA movie style of policing that you see in movies and on videos from the States is not the kind of COing that you have here. Although there are jails where it's like that, like EMDC in London, or the West Detention before it turned into an immigration jail. You do have certain prisons that run that style of COing, but most of them nowadays is just a handful of pricks and a bunch of people just trying to do their jobs. And if you don't cross paths negatively, typically you can go about your day just fine, as long as you're not putting nothing in their face and making yourself obvious. But like anybody who knows, who's done a bunch of time, knows in the West Detention, right? Back in the day, you could be walking down the hall with like a group of guys, come back from court. You're going to the range, right? Guys talking in the hall, walks past a door, sees a window on the back of the door, starts talking to his homeboy, and you'll see a CO just walk up, whack, slap him right in his mouth. That's the old West Detention days. Hearing guys screaming from the back cell as they're getting stomped out by the cops because they're new, they didn't know the jail, and they didn't know how it runs. You go to A&D, typically, if you've done time in the West, any amount of time, you'll see most guys that have been there, they know. They just keep quiet. It's not even worth it. Or you have to go all out and fight all out, which could cost you your life. That's what I'd say, you know. A CO is a job where you can make a lot of money. It's a government job, benefits, all that stuff. Just don't allow it to get to your head and make you start believing that you're better than people. And if you use that sensibility and humbleness, then you should be fine. Not every CO that I ever saw when I was doing time did like beef the inmates. You have CO like Jim Carrey in the Ville, or there's certain COs in like a jail like Lindsay, where they don't care. They're you see them have like relationships with certain inmates. And that allows the inmates to live comfortably without being harassed, to be able to do what it is they need to do to get through their time. It's not the movies, you know. It's not constant war, constant people being stabbed, constant violence and drugs. Like there are times where there's lots of drugs. And then there are times where there's no drugs at all. It's dry. And guess what happens? When there's lots of drugs, everybody's typically getting along. people are doing business and there's baking happening or whatever. Guys are selling this or doing tattoos or whatever. And then if there's just a little bit of drugs or no drugs, there's typically violence that follows that. And if it's been dry for any substantial amount of time and then a bag of weed comes in or something like that, watch what happens. Say one man brings in a QP, right? And his goal, his motivation is to be able to make some money so he can send home to his family and he can help with the bills and the costs of life, right? That's most people's desire when they do that. All of a sudden, people in the jail find out you're the only guy that has the dank, and boom, your door every day. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, bing, bing. All day, every day. I've seen it happen, man. You have to put your foot down, but at the same time show enough love that people don't want to move on you and just take it all. Mitch, what's up, my brother? Honestly, bro, I've been shaking it a little bit lately. There's definitely that's definitely a fact. And you're right there, World Gone Mad. It's a fine line. It's not even respect. It is being cordial. I've seen guys get in fights or smack guys or punch guys because guys call an officer bro, or I've even seen guys get mad for calling an officer sir. Now times have changed. It's not like that now. You hear guys like, yo, bro, what's up, bro? All the time to coppers. But when I first started doing time, if you called an officer bro, you were going to get in a fight. Somebody was going to call you a goof. What are some valuable lessons you learned inside that you can apply to life outside? Patience is definitely one of them. Obviously, being locked up, you learn how to be with yourself and to sit with your thoughts. And I think that patience is very important in the real world. I also think a lesson that I learned is that life is not fucking fair. And there's nothing you can do to make it that way. It just is what it is. Life is what it is. So the more you sit back and worry and bitch and be stressed or anxious about things, the worse off you're going to be. It's not affecting anybody but you. And other than that, I'd just say time is valuable. And you don't see it like that so much when you're young because you have your whole life ahead of you, right? But when you touch 40 or 50 and you're still caught up in the system or caught up in addiction, your life starts passing you by really, really fast, and life gets lonely really, really fast. A 20-year-old criminal, people think that's cool. A 30-year-old criminal, people might even think that's cool. 40 or 50 or 60, somebody who's still in and out of jail, still sleeping on people's couches, still just living an unstable life. It's not cool, man. It doesn't get you anywhere. You get caught in this cycle of just losing. You have to change that. You have to break the cycle. Without naming names, have you seen Toronto rappers in jail crack off or go PC or be a biatch? No. I would say, though, that apparently somebody did crack off while I was doing time. I never saw that. So I would say I don't know if that's true. But I know a lot of people, a lot of friends of a lot of these young rappers. I know a certain rapper that just touched road and did a lot of time with that man. All I wish is that all these guys would just stop beefing, stop posting their beef online, and just try their best to be successful and build some generational wealth for their families. I support Toronto rap, man. I bumped that. I haven't been on range with any big names, but I've been in jail with a couple big names. And I know a lot of close homeboys of a lot of these guys. Like I know a lot of their set members, guys that are in their clique, but not as popular or don't rap. So I know more of the shooters than the rappers, I guess you would say. But I don't talk to nobody from the system. I don't keep up with it because every time I did that in my life, I'd end up back in it. It's not even that the people are trying to get you caught up in the system, but when you hang out with certain people, that reputation follows them, which brings police and investigations, and you just can't help but getting caught up. You gotta cut it all off 100%. That's the only way to turn it off. The top 3 most underrated Toronto rappers, in my opinion. Okay, I'd say number 1 is Doovie. I think the kid's dope, you know. I can't lie, he's dope. And he sounds to me the most like commercially prepared to boom, in my opinion. Man, I gotta say Biz. I have to. His music is hard. He can rap, you know. His music is hard. I can't even lie. That man's music is dope. He can rap. And I like the Crook. He can rap. His music is good. There's a lot of young guys in Toronto that can rap. They just need to be put into the right situation where the production is right and the angle of the career is right. You know, yeah, Little Beretti has talent. Oh, for sure. He's got some bangers. And Pressa has talent too. A lot of these guys, Mula has talent. A lot of these guys can rap really good. It's just understanding how to take your career to the next place. And I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to make the I don't know how to get you into the commercial eyes. I don't know Rayshawn. And RIP to JG. I did time with him before. He could rap. Bandit. He can rap. Yeah, Burna's sick. Burna's sick. I like Burna for sure. A lot of them are serious dudes. The difference is, like, back in the day, we all knew that rappers that were street rappers, a lot of them, they were just rapping about what they were seeing. They weren't actually rapping about what they were doing, right? Like, we all know that, right? Like, how, you go back in the day, like Tupac was in art school, you know what I mean? T.I. did a 222 Tips commercial. Like, let's be real, right? Like, a lot of these guys were just rapping about the streets because they grew up there and they saw it, but they weren't necessarily living it like that. And nowadays, you have a higher percentage of rappers that are really about that are rapping, because we're in a deranged time. We're in a time where people love seeing violence and murder. It's like blood sports. So I think as long as people believe that you are genuinely rapping about what you're doing, then they're going to listen. The problem is that the feds are also listening. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be vague. You can't paint a picture, which will make your rap less good. So I don't know. That's my opinion. Just rap about rap. Rap about the streets. but don't be specific. Don't talk about your crime. I know I've listened to Is It Worth It? I've listened to most of the music from Toronto. What's his name too? Pengs? Is it Pengs? He's dope. I'm not super into the melodic rap, to be honest. But I do like Doovie. I heard the other day that somebody said that the perfect place for Doovie to sign would be with YSL, because he fits that sound, that mold, like him on a Gunna track or him on a Young Thug track. But it's not, clearly now is not the time for that. So I just hope they all win, man. You know, people in the US, they think that there's no projects here in Toronto or that nobody here came up in a struggle, but that's not facts. You know, you go or you're from Toronto, you know, and a lot of these guys deserve to win, man. They've been through it. I'm not a hater. I don't hate on nobody. Even if I don't like their music, I still hope that they become successful. And it doesn't make sense to stay in the streets if you've already started making it, and if you know your reputation is already established. Doovie has enough tracks that go hard. Outside is hard. Nightmares 1 and 2 are both hard. Oh man, Doovie's, to me, he is the most ready to blow. Just because his beat selections are really on point, his production and his engineering and the sound of his music is really good. So yeah, there's definitely a larger population, and there's definitely way more access to firearms. Yeah, Demons is hard. This is the thing. In Canada, to buy a new firearm is a lot of money. Like, it's not $300 or $400 like if you live in the States, right? Like, you're putting up racks to buy a strap in Canada. So it's not like you can go out and steal a bunch of guns or whatever, like in the States, where if you just break into somebody's house, you could find 20 fucking guns, machine guns, whatever, right? That ain't happening here. So it's a lot harder to get weapons. So I just think that there probably would be a lot more violence if there was more access to firearms. But at the same time, I believe that if you're a law-abiding citizen, you should have the right to own a firearm. You should have the right to be able to protect your family. And that's where Canada goes wrong. Tita, I don't know about that. This is the thing. I personally like his music a little better, especially if you compare new stuff. But maybe you don't like his sound as much. He's still a talented kid, man. To even be doing what he's doing, you know. I hope they all make it. That's a fact. Definitely different styles. What about Tory Lanez? If he was actually about it or just rapping? I have no idea. I don't know him. I wouldn't talk about that on here anyways. But I would say Tory Lanez can rap, but do I want to listen to his rap? I'd rather listen to his singing music than his rap, personally. And that's not saying he can't rap, because I think he can rap. If you listen to his battle with Joyner and stuff, he can rap. I'm not a Joyner fan. Yo, what's up, Lance? What are you dealing with, my brother? Mitch, no interviews lined up, man. I'm going to get some going, though. I know I've been saying that. You know what stops me is I don't want to go on social media. That's a fact. Yeah, brother. I seen you recently. I saw that you kind of stopped doing it for a little bit. You just keep in touch, and then now you're back and you're booming. So congrats on that, brother, and congrats on your homeboy, Jay. Let's live. Or I like his videos, man. He's a sensical guy. Yeah, I want to do some other stuff too, though. I don't, I want to branch out of just doing prison. I also want to speak more on addiction, but the problem is addiction doesn't get shown to the people. It's like YouTube like censors that kind of stuff. There's a handful of people that can put up as much, rehabilitation product as they want. And get millions of views, but it's hard, man. It's hard for me to catch that algorithm. I'm still learning. What I need somebody to sit down with me for a weekend and teach me how to edit on a PC. That's what I need. That's what I need. I'm on here for like 3 or 4 minutes, guys. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Doesn't hurt you. Doesn't, right? If you haven't subscribed yet, just do it. We speak about a lot of things, It doesn't always have to be about prison. We also speak on addiction and recovery and sometimes just life. You know what I mean? Don't cap. You already know, playa. You're almost at that 10K sub mark, man. Yeah, and for me, like, when I started doing YouTube, I never thought I'd get to 100 subscribers. I really didn't, So if I touch 10K, you already know. That's the hardest. Getting to 10K is the hardest. Now, it's hard to keep it up. It is. It's constant work and just getting ideas and finding a path that works best for you is not easy, but we're going to do it. Harry, May. Brother, I want you to come on and do a goddamn interview with me. I don't even care if you wear a mask so people don't see your face. I know I could probably even go to what's it called, Skillshare or whatever. I bet you I could find something there. It's James. It's not that I couldn't teach myself. I just feel like I'm a better learner by seeing something, and I can pick it up a lot faster. But if you mean like an actual course where they'll teach me, you pay $50 or whatever, you take a bunch of courses and they actually teach you, then hey, maybe that's something I could do. I don't want to spend a bunch of money on it. I don't have any money. Online Zoom meeting with someone telling you, huh? Yeah, I've definitely thought about doing a podcast. It's just, would I want to do it with somebody else? Would I want to do it by myself? And what would be the angle? What would I want to talk about? So how much is it going to cost me to get all the equipment I need and to set it up? Holler at me, brother, on IG. I'm going to go on there sometime this week. I'll go on there and check it out. If you give me some kind of a contact, my brother. No, I get it, James. It is what it is, Mitch. Some people have tried. I think that where people go wrong is they think that in a month or 2 months they're going to blow up. They don't understand that for every content creator that goes viral, there's like 1,000 that fail. So optically, it just looks like everybody is successful, but there's people that do video after video after video after video and don't get 100 views. They just don't understand YouTube. There's a way to beat YouTube. There's a way. That's why some people can start up a new channel and within a day or two, boom, they have 40, 50,000 subscribers right away. Bang. Because they understand the algorithm. I understand some parts of it, but I don't want to just jump on trend topics, Anyways, I got to go, you guys. I got to go to dinner. I love y'all. Thank you for coming and hollering at your boy. I needed this. I was having a bad day, to keep it real. I've been having a bad week. I work every day of my life. And sometimes you just want a little bit more appreciation. And, as a man, that doesn't always come. Love each and every one of you, man. The new Matt Clark. Yeah, men, it's hard out here right now, bro. Not a whole lot of support or empathy towards the masculine man. You know what I mean? All these women just expect that we think the way they think. And it's just not the way it works. I love you guys, man. You already know. Harry, man, holler at me on IG, my brother. Is that it? No, like this, right? You already know, playa.